Well, this is just weird. No kidding. Check this out. Hi everybody, Beanmeister22 here, and this used to be a hornworm, also known as a tobacco worm, also known as a Goliath worm. They turn into a moth, which is not very welcome in many areas because they will produce eggs, which will turn into those worm/caterpillar looking things, which will eat crops and all kind of things. Because of that, they are often hard to get online. I used to buy mine at Amazon. And I've talked about this before. States will ban the import of these hornworms. Then suppliers will change the name of those worms. Tobacco worm, tomato worm, Goliath worm is the newest, biggest, fanciest name for them. To skirt around the laws about not importing them into your state. Maybe it's a regulation. Maybe not a law, but it's a regulation. So they skirt the regulations by changing the name, much like the producers did a few years ago when it came to vitamin supplements. I'm making finger quotes here, which were basically ephedrine and amphetamines. They would come out of former Eastern Bloc countries. They would be supplied to large, well-known vitamin retailers. And you would go into those large, well-known vitamin retailers and you would ask for them by name and they would go in the back room and get them for you. Was it illegal? No, not really, because they were not banned from coming into the country. But when they were banned, they would change the name, repackage them, and do the same thing all over again until once again this new product was banned. Did they keep them out on the shelves for anybody and everybody to purchase? No, you had to ask them specially, and they went in the back room to get them. Yes, you could buy them online, but it was pretty much the same thing. As soon as they were banned, the name had to be changed, the website changed, the packaging changed, and then you had to figure out what the new name was to get them again. And if you've spent any time in the bodybuilding or powerlifting industry, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And this is what they do with these hornworms, Goliath worms, tobacco worms, because they don't want them damaging the crops in your state. So what do we have here? These worms got so big, were not fed to my tarantulas, and are now in a cocoon thinking about turning into a moth. Not a butterfly, a moth. Yes, there's a difference. Butterflies are solar powered, moths are not. Look it up. These will have to be destroyed, but I will let them hatch first, keeping them into containment, and then I will destroy them. We have had these accidentally hatch before, if you remember, years ago in my scorpion tank. It was a large black jungle scorpion. Kind of looked like an emperor scorpion, but it wasn't. This was some weird giant scorpion. And then one of the worms hid, and then bam, one morning there was a giant moth in there with him. If I remember correctly, the scorpion done stabbed and ate that giant moth. I guess I could try that with a tarantula. Some of the larger tarantulas, when the moths hatch, I could put them in with a tarantula and see what happens. You know, waste not, want not. But what's really weird is, they're in their cocoon kind of thing here, doing their metamorphosis, and they're wiggling. I have never seen that before. That's kind of weird. So maybe when they're doing their metamorphosis, going through that change, they're not hibernating? I always assumed, yeah, you go into a cocoon, you hibernate, you come out, bam! That's not how it works, apparently. Are you familiar with moths, butterflies, their life cycle? Caterpillars, cocoons, metamorphosis. Are they supposed to be wiggling like this? Leave your comments in the comments section. As always, thanks for watching.
Beanmeister22, the most dangerous man on YouTube.